Okay, we're going to be looking at equations of parabolas in standard form. The y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So if I'm given an equation in that form, there's two things I want to find. I want to be able to find the vertex, and I want to be able to find the line of symmetry for that parabola. So we're going to derive the formula for those two by looking at this graph. Well, the first thing I want to notice is that this point right here and this point, my x-intercepts, can be found by using the quadratic formula, and it gives me these 2 points. Next thing I want to be looking at is this line of symmetry. It goes right down through the middle of my graph. I know that the y-coordinate of this point is 0. I don't know what the x-coordinate is, but if I could figure out the x-coordinate, then I will know my line of symmetry, and I will know the x-coordinate of this vertex. Well, this point that's right on that line of symmetry is in the middle between this x-intercept and this x-intercept. Well, if it's right in the middle, how can I find that? Well, let's look at a different example. What if I had a number here that was, say, 6 and a number over here that was 10? How would I find the number that's in the middle? Well, I would add them and divide by 2, right? 6 plus 10 divided by 2, you find their average, and that will give you 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to find the average of this number and this number. Okay, the question was, how can we find the x-coordinate of the vertex? And the way that we're going to do that is to take the average of the x-intercepts. So I'm adding these two numbers here that I've highlighted in yellow. And normally when we find the average of two numbers, we add the two numbers together and divide by 2. But multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So I think it's going to be easier if I just multiply by 1/2. So what I need to do is to simplify this. So I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can simplify that on your own. Okay, so let me give you an explanation of how this goes if you didn't quite get that. The part that's in parentheses, you're just adding two fractions. It's just like 2/7 plus 3/7. You just add the two numerators together. The denominator stays the same. So when I add my two numerators together, I have negative b here and a negative b here, and that's going to add to give me negative 2b. Now notice with my radicals, they're opposites. I have minus the radical and then plus the radical. So when I add those together, they cancel out. My denominator is going to stay 2a. So now what's inside the parentheses can simplify. Those 2's are going to cancel out. So I have negative b over a, and that's going to be negative b over 2a. Okay, what I just found was the x-coordinate of this point. So negative b over 2a, and the y-coordinate there is 0. So if that x-coordinate is negative b over 2a, then this x-coordinate is negative b over 2a as well. Now, I don't know what this y value is, but I know that I could find that y value by plugging that into my function, finding the function value at negative b over 2a. Now, another thing I want you to notice is that this line of symmetry has the equation x equals negative b over 2a. Okay, so that leads us to my formulas over here. For the formula for the vertex is negative b over 2a and f of negative b over 2a. And the line of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. So my first problem here, I need to find the vertex and the equation of the line of symmetry. So the first step in finding the vertex is figuring out the x-coordinate of the vertex. And I'm going to find the x-coordinate by finding negative b over 2a. So that's going to be negative 8 over 2 times 1, and that's negative 4. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is negative 4. Now I need to find the y-coordinate. And what I do is find f of negative 4. I take this negative 4 from the step above here and plug that negative 4 into that equation. So I'm going to have negative 4 in parentheses squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 15. Stick that into your calculator and you get negative 1. So your vertex is negative 4, negative 1, and your line of symmetry is x equals negative 4. Okay, let's do the next problem. Finding the x-coordinate, I want to find negative b over 2a, or the opposite of b over 2a. So it'll be 5 over 2 times 2. So 5/4. And to find the y-coordinate, I'm going to find f of 5/4. So I put 5/4 in place of that x. And you stick that into your calculator. And you get 7/8. And the line of symmetry is the equation x equals 5/4. Okay, so pause the video and try to do number 3 on your own. Okay, there are your answers for number 3.